Yes, hello, good morning. Ayan, isang maganda, masaya at mapagpalang umaga sa bawat isa na kasama natin sa programang ito. Hindi mo akong kinakabahan na ano po. Pero ako po ay lubos sa nagagalak na makasama kayo at maging bahagi ng pangalawang episode ng Today with DepEd DASMA. Marahil po ay nagtataka kayo na bagong mukha po muli ang inyong natutunghayan sa mga pagkakataong ito. Ano po, no? Pero I hope na hindi po natin mabasag ang inyong mga LCD screens. And biro lamang po. Ayan, katulad nga po ng nabanggit noong unang episode natin. Kasama po natin si Sir Jan, ang School Information Coordinator ng Paliparan 3 Senior High School, ay magbe-behind the scene po muna ang ating kagalang-galang na Information Division Officer, Senior Education Program Specialist na si Sir Mark Jason Espinosa. At sapagkat po kasalukuyan po na maghahalinhinan po muna ang 44 City Schools Division para po maghatid sa inyo ng mga makubuluhan at napapanahon na diskusyon at talakayan. Ayan, sige po, kamusta po ang bawat isa? Ayan, tingnan natin sa ating comment section sa ating FB. Ang pulso ng bayan. Tingnan po natin sa ating mga comment. Hello po, good morning. Yan, good morning po. Sabi po ni Ma'am Arlene Alberto. Good morning, Ma'am. Yan, so shout out po tayo. Ayan. Sige po, nahanap po natin ang ating mga comments sa comment section mula dito sa ating FB Live. And so by the way, yan habang tinitingnan po natin yung mga comments ng ating mga viewers po sa ating episode ngayon, nais ko po munang ipakilala ang aking sarili. Ako nga po pala si Miss Catherine Noma, ang School Information Coordinator mula sa Congressional Integrated High School. Ayan. So nawa po ay pagbigyan po ninyo ako na aking shout out ang aming mahuhusay at mapagmalasakit na ulong guro sa pamumuno po ni Binibining Rowena R. Hermoso, gayon din ang aming mga head teachers, master teachers, at mga kapwa ko guro. Ayan po, shout out po sa inyong lahat. Magandang araw po. Ayan na po natin. Ayan. Sige po, hello po. Good morning, good morning. So, titingnan po natin ngayon ang ating mga kasama. Ngayon po tayo ay nasa live na live sa ating FB. Okay, sa ating pong page, DepEd tayo, City DASMA. Ayan. Hello, good morning, Sir Jan. So hopefully ay magkasama tayo dito, Sir Jan, sa susunod na broadcast. Ano po? Ayan, gayon din po. Shout out. So isang bonggang-bonggang shout out din po sa mga kasama natin sa mga sandaling ito. Yan, sa mga kapwa ko po guro mula sa 44 City Schools, City School sa ating division at sa aking po mga kapwa SIC. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. So thank you po sa pag-tune in sa ating episode for this day. Ayan, sabi po dito ni Mommy Grace Ilaya, hello to all my beloved fellow parents, friends, and teachers, school head, and Mary Chris Pablo, Sir John Reza Lambino, and Ma'am Gracie Morgan watching here at Paliparan 3, DASMA City, Cavite. Ayan, good morning po sa inyong lahat. Shout out po and welcome po sa ating episode 2 sa Today with DepEd DASMA. So palagay ko po ay excited na ang lahat. Kaya bago pa po humaba ang ating kumustahan, later po, ayan, babasahin po ulit natin ang inyong mga shout out, ang inyong pong mga pabati. And by the way po, later din po sa ating usapan, kayo po ay welcome na mag-type ng inyong mga tanong sa ating comment section. Ayan. So palagay ko po excited na po ang lahat. So bilang pagbabalik tanaw po muna sa ating unang episode ay nakasama po natin ang tatlo sa ating mga mabubuti at kapitapitagang mga school heads mula sa National University Senior High School Department, Congressional Integrated High School at Bautista Elementary School na sina Ma'am Annalisa Sinfuego, Ma'am Rowena Hermoso at si Dr. Rochelle Pacatang, kung saan ating pinag-usapan ang mga naging hamon, paghahanda na isinagawa ng ating mga naimbitahang panauhin para makapagsagawa at masimulan ang limited face-to-face matapos ang 2 taon na tayo ay nalayo kaunti sa ating paaralan. At ngayon, para naman sa ikalawang episode ng Today with DepEd DASMA, ay ating pag-uusapan ang ilang mahalaga at napapanahon na impormasyon tungkol sa fact-checking upang labanan ang paglaganap at impluwensya na dulot ng mga fake news at disinformation. Pero bago ang lahat, ating po munang i-contextualize ang lahat ng ating discussion at nang mabatid ng bawat isa ang mga programa pang ilulunsad ng Today with DepEd DASMA. Atin pong panoorin ang video na ito. Ayan, natunghayan po ninyo ang ating video teaser para sa Join the Band, Battle Against News and Battle Against Altered News and Disinformation. Ayan, so dahil sa panahon na ito kung saan napakahalaga ang tunay, totoo at tamang pagbabalita, kinakailangan po na tayo ay aware sa mga impormasyon na ating tinatanggap at ipinapakalat. Ayan po. So samahan niyo po kami. Let's join the band. Ayan. So, tuloy-tuloy na po natin ito. So truly, we are blessed because we have been graced by the presence of a person who is a very competent, very capable, and expert, and is very more than willing to share to us his knowledge on how we will fight this battle against altered news and disinformation. So for today's episode, we're going to tackle about fact-checking and verifying. So please allow me to introduce to you our guest speaker. So our today's speaker is a full-time faculty member at the College of Arts and Sciences of the Lyceum of the Philippines, University Cavite. He is the current chair of the Communication and Education programs. He teaches communication research, communication theories, communication, culture and society, interpersonal and intercultural communication, communication planning, and public relations. He obtained his bachelor's degree in mass communication, major in broadcasting from Bulacan State University in 2009, and his master's degree in communication, major in broadcast journalism from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines in 2013. Currently, he is pursuing his doctorate studies in educational leadership and management at La Consolacion University, Philippines. He currently serves as the National Secretary of the Philippine Association of the Communication Educators, the pioneer, biggest, and most dynamic professional organization of communication and media educators and practitioners in the country. His other professional organizations include the Philippine Association of Practitioners of Student Affairs, Philippine Communication Society, Philippine Association for Media and Information Literacy, Asian Congress of Media Communication, and Southeast Asian Media Studies Association. His research interests include intercultural and interpersonal communication, online digital media communication, and communication and media ethics. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, to all our live viewers, let's all welcome with a big hand our guest speaker, the very competent, the very able, and the very handsome Mr. Reginald H. Gonzalez. Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, Ma'am Catherine, and good morning sa lahat ng ating mga viewers from DepEd, DASMA. Isang karangalan po na maimbitahan at makapag-share sa inyong lahat ngayong araw nito.
Yes, sir. Good morning po. It's nice to meet you, and we're so very honored, and it's our pleasure to have you po for our second episode of Today with DepEd DASMA. Maraming salamat, sir, sa pagpapaunlak po ng imbitasyon. So for today, sir, we're going to talk about this fact-checking and verifying, especially at this point po na talaga pong marami po ang kumakalat, sir, na tungkol sa mga fake news sa ating social medias, kung saan kung saan po very much associated po ang ating mga kabataan ngayon. At ganoon na rin po even to our professionals. Ayan, so ngayon po, sir, kalma lang. Sabi ko po sana kalma lang tayo, pero mukhang ako po talaga ang kinakabahan sa mga pagkakataong ito. Ayan, so ang magiging style naman po natin, sir, ay parang interview, question and answer po tayo. Ayan, magbibigay po kami tatanong po kami ng ilang sets of questions, and hopefully po, sir, ay ma-enlighten po natin ang ating mga viewers sa mga bagay na ito. Ayan. Sige, sir, baka po meron po muna kayong gustong batiin or i-shout out po. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, again, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat, kay Ma'am Catherine, kay Sir Maki, sa lahat ng
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Well, gusto ko sabihin that natutuwa ako na may ganitong klaseng programa ang inyong division's office sa DepEd, Dahil katulad nga ng binanggit mo, Ma'am Catherine, kanina, isang malawak na problema na kinakaharap natin ngayon, lalo na ng ating mga kabataan, itong problema ng, sabi nga natin ay fake news. Kaya mas lalo, kailangan natin silang educate at mas lalo na kailangan natin ituro sa kanila yung how to fact check para maiwasan natin na mas lalong lumala itong problema na ito.
Ayan, sir.
Good morning, Ma'am Kath. No, pasensya ka na, medyo na-traffic ako ng pasok. But I would really love to have Sir Reg on the platform. Kasi napakaganda po ng topic na ating pag-uusapan ngayong umaga. Alam nyo, Ma'am Kath, Sir Reg, no, Ma'am Kath will be my co-host this morning. Ma'am Kath, di ba parang nakakalungkot, no, that with the power that we have on the tips of our fingers, that in a simple click we can access to different information, nagiging disadvantage din siya sa atin because we also get to access, we also become vulnerable po to different kinds of disinformation. And I think that is the clash between the advantages and disadvantages of the technology that we are having right now. Sir, sa isang mabilisang tanong po namin ni Ma'am Kath, how do we spot fake news?
Okay, thank you Sir Maki for the question. No? Pero Sir Maki, bago ko sagutin yung question mo, isang mabilisan lang na isisingit ko lang. Lagi kasi natin naririnig yung term na fake news. We always hear it and see it almost everywhere, lalo sa social media, fake news. But there's a little contradiction kasi every time we use the term fake news. Because news, by its very nature, is not fake or should not be fake. Because
Yes.
news, by definition, it should be made up of factual information. So pag sinabi natin news, hindi siya dapat fake. Okay? So, and when we talk of fake news din, mahalaga din na maintindihan ng ating mga kabataan, ating mga teachers din, na may iba't ibang klase, no, ng fake news. Okay? Meron tayong tinatawag nating misinformation, meron tayong tinatawag nating disinformation, at meron pa yung tinatawag natin na malinformation. So quickly, yung misinformation, ito yung incorrect, misleading information na pinipresent natin as something factual. Okay? Yun namang tinatawag nating disinformation. Ito naman yung mga intentional and deceiving kinds of information that we share with other people. And yung malinformation naman, ito naman ay mga realistic information that we send with the intention to inflict harm on other people. So, yon. Now, going back to your question, how can we assess the likelihood of that a piece of information is fake news? Of course, meron tayong ilang mga indicators or signs na pwede nating hanapin sa isang content. Okay? Online content man ito or content sa mainstream media. And some of these are the following. Of course, red flag ito kapag yung source natin nung information or yung author natin is not known, okay? Or minsan anonymous, hindi naka-identify kung sino ang source, sino ang nagsulat, or kung minsan naman yung author identified pero hindi naman siya isang expert in the field or hindi siya authority doon sa field. So, that's red flag, no? Sa pag-spot ng fake news. Also, pwede rin tayong magkaroon ng hinala na isang content ay fake news kapag hindi natin ma-verify yung content na nandoon sa material na yon. So, of course, ang isang balita bago natin maisulat, of course, dumadaan ito sa mahabang proseso. Meron tayo diyang mga ginagawa to make sure that all the contents are factual and follows the standard of what a news is. So kapag hindi natin ma-verify, hindi natin makita from other sources of information at talagang doon lang tayo doon sa specific source na yun nakita, yung information na yun, pwede tayong magkaroon ng
I think we are having ayan, Ma'am Kath, no? Ayan. Go, Sir Reg, welcome back.
Okay, sorry. Nag-lag ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The last word that you mentioned was kapag hindi natin makita yung pinanggalingan ng balita.
Okay.
Would you like to continue that?
Yeah. Siguro dagdag ko na lang din kapag yung information na nakita natin is posted or uploaded in a suspicious platform or website. So, pwede rin tayong magkaroon ng hinala na baka fake news nga ito. Okay? And also, meron din namang mga fake news tayong makikita na medyo exaggerated yung kanyang mga magsimula sa headline or yung title niya, and it normally appeals to emotions. So, those are just some indications na pwedeng magbigay sa atin ng idea na baka fake news or hindi factual itong information na nakikita ko or binabasa ko.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am Kath, do you have any follow-up question to Sir Reg? You are on mute, Ma'am Kath.
Ayan. So thank you so much po Sir Gonzales for answering our first question. Actually, hindi pa po talaga yun sir yung tanong eh. Ayan. So pasimula pa lamang po yung kumbaga parang appetizer pa lang po. Pero very, very informative na talaga. And thank you for enlightening us of what fake news is really. Kasi di ba, tama po sir na talagang gamit na gamit yung word na fake news. Pero news should not be fake. At kabibigay niyo lamang po. Ayan, thank you for enlightening us of the different kinds of news para nga naman po hindi laging labeled as fake news ang mga bawat balita na nababasa at natatanggap po ng bawat isa. Ayan, so para po sa ating mga katanungan, sir, ito po, unang tanong. How can we assess the likelihood that a piece of information is fake news?
Ma'am Kath, I think that question was already addressed by Sir Reg. Yes, that was already answered by Sir Reg. Sir Reg, ito lang yung siguro may pa-follow up lang ako ng bahagyan na tanong. You mentioned about ito nga yung of course we get to see lalo na sa social media po no that we are sharing news from not credible unreliable sources. Parang lalo na sa TikTok, sir, yung videos from TikTok, sinishare nila sa Facebook, parang yung may nagnanarrate and stuff like that. Sir, as a communication major, as an expert in this field, what do you think? This is just a follow-up, sir. No? What do you think are the motivations behind this that people would share this kind of information despite that these are unknown persons talking, yet they would love to share them?
Okay, thank you. Well, una, kasi these people creating these contents are very creative. Creative to the point that they can persuade people to share these things in their own social media accounts. So, and when that happens, nagiging domino effect na siya. Other people, when they see na may nag-post ng ganito and nag-appeal din sa kanilang emotion or sa kanilang isip, they would also share this thing. So, it would create a domino effect already. So, habang may nag-share, marami ding nakakakita, and then therefore, there's a tendency that these people will also do the same. Now, yung question mo about ano kaya yung intention, well, of course, maraming intention na pwede tayong mag-isip. Pwede nating sabihin na sinadya na i-share for, I don't know, baka meron siyang pansarili niyang motibo. Pero mas gusto ko siyang tingnan sa perspective na hindi kasi well-informed and ka-critical yung ibang mga tao, lalo na yung mga kabataan natin, sa pag-analisa ng mga ganitong klase ng information. So, when they get to see this information, they easily believe that, ay, oo nga, no? So, madali silang napapaniwala. So, I guess it's more of an issue of, literacy, media and information literacy. Kaya, nagpapatuloy yung ganitong klase ng, kalakaran, lalo na sa ating social media.
Yan. Thank you po, Sir Gonzales. So you have mentioned po on literacy on media information. Ano po? Pwede po ba, sir, namin malaman? Can you give us some insights or ideas po on how can we help these children po for them to become literate when it comes with this media information po? Kasi medyo mahirap talaga, sir, na especially they have their own access dito sa mga social media. And usually social media, Facebook, including the TikTok, dun po talaga sila nakuha ng information. So how can we educate our children, especially the children po, about this media information?
Okay.
Sir,
yes, sir.
Ayan, tama. Ang ganda ng tanong ni Ma'am Kat. Pero Ma'am Kat, no, ipag-isahin na kaya natin kasi marami tayong friends, our co-teachers, our students, and it's so sad that you see fellow professionals doing the
Yes.
same. And it's also awkward to call them out. Sir, how can we tactfully call them out and address this?
Well, una, doon muna tayo sa ating mga estudyante. Siguro dahil sa kanilang batang edad, hindi pa din ganoon kakritikal ang kanilang isip para, ma-analisa yung mga information na nakikita nila online. So, it's easy for them to believe. So, sa ganitong sitwasyon, mahalaga yung role na ginagampanan ng ating mga magulang in inculcating to our young people, our students, yung value ng critical thinking na hindi dapat lahat ng nakikita sa social media ay pinaniniwalaan at hindi dapat lahat ng nakikita sa social media ay sinishare agad sa ibang tao because there is a need for all of us, bata man o matanda, professional man o hindi, there's a need for all of us to check things and to verify kung ito bang mga information presented to us are factual. Kaya nga, we have fact-checking. We are encouraging everyone to do fact-checking. Kasi nga, we're living in an information age. Ang dami-daming information nanggagaling sa mainstream media, sa TV, sa radio, sa print, and lalong-lalo na ngayon online. So we are exposed to huge amount of information, and all the more that we should promote media and information literacy to teach everyone how to process these kinds of information na nakikita natin, na receive natin from different channels of communication. Tapos, Sir Maki, ano nga po ulit yung question nyo kanina? Sorry.
Yes, sir. Paano naman, sir, kung sa mga colleagues? Yan. Diba? Siyempre, medyo awkward yan, but we have this moral duty to call them out, sir. What will be your tips for us, teachers, in educating our fellow teachers? Siyempre, there is this possibility of resistance. Diba, sir?
I agree, no? Because ako din, na-experience ko na yan, no? Siguro, ang ipupunto ko na lang dyan is, number one, there is really a need for us to call out people na nakikita natin, na nag-share ng mga hindi tamang information, mga hindi factual na information. Siguro, nagmamatter na lang kung how do we approach them. Okay? Just like what I always tell my students sa mga discussions namin, hindi tayo dapat makipag-away, hindi tayo dapat gumamit ng mga lingwahe na hindi appropriate para sa isang magalang na tao, respectful na tao. So, when we call out people, we should still maintain yung level of respect, lalo na kung ang kino-call out natin ay mga kasama natin, mga kasama natin sa trabaho, kapwa natin profesional, and even family members. Kasi kahit sa tahanan ay experience din natin na nagkakaroon tayo ng di ba, ng problema sa pagkakaiba-iba natin ng mga opinion. So it's okay to call out, but we do this in a respectful manner.
Can you help us uh, qualify that very respectful manner by means of sending them private message? Will it suffice the yung ganong? Yes, sir.
Yes, that could be one, kasi syempre kapag may nakita ka sa isang sa social media account ng isang kasama mo, tapos kinumentan mo siya publicly. So may tendency na hindi maging maganda ang kanyang reception. So yung sinabi mo, Sir Maki, na sending them private message to call them out is one way, no, of doing it. Another thing siguro, indirectly, no, pwede mo siya sigurong tanungin. Ma'am, sir, paano niyo po kaya nasabi na, okay, paano po kaya niyo nasabi or na-claim na ganito ang isang bagay without directly questioning them? Because again, some would resort to foul words, or they will react violently kapag kinall out natin sila. So, yung mga ganong pamamaraan, I think, will sometimes work. Although, hindi rin naman natin ganun kadali mababago ang paniniwala ng ibang tao.
Yes.
Diba? Because, we are all entitled. We always say, diba? We are living in a democratic country. We can always say whatever we want to say. We can always express what we want to express, at meron tayong kanya-kanya nating mga paniniwala. Pero again, borrowing your words kanina, Sir Maki, it's our moral obligation sa mga kapwa natin professional at sa ating mga estudyante to correct what needs to be corrected. So kung meron tayong nakita na mali, we need to do something. Otherwise, it will become more prevalent kapag hinayaan lang natin.
Yes, thank you so much po, sir. Thank you for emphasizing, no, sir, yung respect, the spirit of respect whenever we try to correct or call out the attention po nung mga palagay natin ay nagbibigay ng mga misleading information, no, sir. And thank you also for giving us examples, concrete examples on how we can do that, kasi it's really a struggle, especially for us professional, and especially if we're going to call out the attention of someone who's higher, quote unquote, higher than us, no, and then tendency, since they are higher in certain level compared to us, di ba po, magiging attitude na kadalasan na pabayaan na lang, wag na lang nating pansinin, or ipaubaya sa ibang tao yung pagko-correct doon sa maling impormasyon na naipapakala. So thank you so much, sir, for telling us those things that we could do and we should do para po makorek ang mga misleading information. And also, nag-hit strike sa akin kanina, sir, yung sinabi mo to check and verify and make sure that these children din po is they do not immediately share what they see on social media or sa ating mga sites na available. Because napansin ko po, sir, kasi yung iba binabasa lang yung headline and if it sounds good and if sounds true, without reading the whole article, sinashare agad nila. Marami po ako natatanggap personally sa group chat naming ng mga bata sa school. Ayan, una pa silang magbigay ng information regarding sa mga cancellations of classes and like that. And then surprisingly, nung chinek ko po ang source, TikTok. Okay, so sinakop na rin po pala ng TikTok talaga ang ganitong mga bagay. But thank you that we have this kind of opportunity, this kind of discussion, sir, para po ma-enlighten talaga ang bawat isa. Not only the children, but as well as the parents and the teachers about this matter. Ayan. So, sir,
Ma'am Catherine, si- Ma'am Catherine, siguro
yes, sir.
maidagdag ko na lang, no? Yung media and information literacy na kailangan nating ituro at i-reinforce sa ating mga estudyante at mga kapwa guro is not really on the consumption of news and information. Because remember, tayo ngayon hindi na lang tayo mga consumers ng information. We are also producers of our
Yes.
own information. So even yung ating mga young people, young students, they on their own can make their own contents and share these contents with their fellow students and other people in the community dahil may access sila sa kanilang social media. But the question there is, gaano katama, gaano ka-correct, gaano ka-factual itong kanilang content na ginawa at kanilang i-share through their social media account.
Ayan, sir. So, dahil po, yan, nabanggit nyo na rin po that we, together with our students and even our parents po, and everyone na nanonood sa atin ngayon, and we are already considered producers also of information. Now, my question, sir, is, ano po ba yung mga considerations na tinitake natin para masabi natin that what we produce is considered as reliable?
Well,
Like it
of
would
course,
be questionable by others. Ayan. So, usually, so nagsasite naman po ng information. But how can we say that it is truly reliable?
well, number one, when we speak of reliability, is the quality of the data or information that we are going to use to produce our content. Okay? Because if the data or the information that we're going to use is not credible, it's not factual, and hindi siya correct, and if we use that, sa pag-produce ng ating content, then there's really a problem. So, dapat ma-inculcate sa isip ng bawat isa sa atin, lalo sa mga estudyante, yung practice ng proper attribution, proper tamang paghanap ng mga sources ng information. Alam na alam natin yan, mga teachers, di ba? Kapag nagpagawa tayo ng assignment sa mga students natin, ang unang-unang tinitingnan ng mga estudyante, Wikipedia, di ba? So, dapat matutunan din ng mga estudyante, lalong-lalo na, kung anong mga sources of information ang dapat nilang kuhanan ng information at hindi lang basta kung ano yung na-search nila online. Because, there are some information sources na nagpapanggap na mukhang legitimate, pero in reality, they just got the information from somewhere and then they put it in their own website or in their own page. So hindi rin siya ganoon ka reliable. So I would always say na mag-consult tayo lagi, gumamit tayo lagi ng mga reliable sources of information.
Ayan, sir. So, we're talking about these reliable sources of information. Sir, para na rin po sa knowledge ng lahat, pwede po ba kayong magbigay ng mga examples ng websites or mga shows na kung saan po talaga masasabi natin, sir, that the information provided had undergone thorough research po?
Well, of course, being a communication teacher, nagtuturo ng iba't ibang mga subjects related to communication in media, I would always say that yung ating mga mainstream media, of course, some may disagree, pero yung ating mga pinaka reliable source of information are the legitimate institutions, legitimate organizations, okay, established organizations who are really into the business of producing and disseminating news and information. At hindi lang yung mga pages, mga accounts, mga websites, or mga grupo na bigla na lang sumulpot from nowhere. And then when you check their profile, hindi mo rin naman makita yung mga specific na information about them. Sino ba ang who are the people behind this of this group, behind this social media page. Kailan ba sila nagsimula, if they are registered uh, sa ating mga government institutions. And minsan, yung iba, hindi din sila naglalagay ng mga contact information. So, yung mga ganong bagay, those are considered to be red flag if we are talking of the legitimacy and reliability of a news source.
Ayan, sir. So I think, yes, sir, no, napaka-importante lang din talaga that we as educators ay maibigay natin or how should I say this? Mabigyan ng awareness yung mga bata dun sa mga bata and other people dun sa mga reliable sources of information. Kasi we just keep on saying, oh, you find reliable source. So where are these reliable sources? So maganda that we are also knowledgeable and we can give them yung mga concrete websites, sabi niyo, pages, the mainstream media kung saan nila makukuha yung mga ganitong information. Ayan po. So, thank you so much, sir, for answering that question. And now, since we're talking about this producing and consuming this kind of informations, this news, ang tanong ko, sir, do we have legal sanctions for those people who are spreading this fake news, yung mga malinformation, sir? Do we have, do they have criminal liability for that?
Naku, Ma'am Catherine, parang hindi ako yung expert na tao para sumagot ng questions about the legalities. Pero siguro ang sasabihin ko na lang for that question is, there are definitely laws dito sa ating bansa that protects us, no, people from other people who are doing this spreading of fake news. And definitely there are sanctions. I would say that. There are sanctions, penalties, hanggang imprisonment pa nga kung minsan na pwedeng ibigay dito sa ating, sa mga nagpa-perpetrate ng pagpapakalat ng fake news. There are laws such as yung pinaka-recent natin dito would be the Cybercrime Prevention Act or yung RA 10175, and also there is this Republic Act 9995 or the Anti-Photo and Video Voyeurism Act. These laws, meron siyang mga provisions on addressing this related, no, dito sa problema natin on fake news. But I'm not going to deal on the specifics of this law because as I said, baka hindi ko mabigyan ng justice ang pag-i-explain doon.
Ayan. Thank you, sir. So, diba, I like the way how you answered it, sir. No? So, telling us that you might not be the appropriate person to answer that. So, that's one way, no, sir, in order for our viewers, our listeners to understand that, yes, you may be our guest speaker for today, but it doesn't mean that every topic or every question is really you are the credible person for that to answer. And I would like the admission on that, sir. So siguro kinakailangan ganun din talaga, no, whenever we try to find news and whenever we spread news, kailangan talaga meron yung involvement ng honesty regarding sa pagpapakalat ng information. So this is out of the question, sir, but I am just curious that out of the your experience sa iyong career, sir, have you ever encountered any situation or scenario wherein umabot na sa legal and something legal, nagkaroon na ng legal action about this spreading of malicious or misinformations, sir?
So far naman, wala pa naman tayo, no? Hindi pa naman tayo umabot sa ganon. Pero I already have some experience about yon, yung pag sharing of false information uh, about me, no? So, nakakatakot talaga, no? I would say nakakatakot talaga ngayon ang kapangyarihan lalo na ng mga younger people, especially if they are not aware of this um, implications, no? Not only ethical implications, but more importantly, legal implications ng spreading of this kind of information. So, all the more na kailangan natin silang turuan.
Ayan, sir. So, thank you po. Yes, so it's really about educating them, okay, about the proper and appropriate ways on how to produce and consume this news. Ayan, sir. So, before we end this, do you still have any message to our viewers po, or like some sorts of final words na you want to impart to us? Lord, guys, special, Sir Gonzalez, especially that we are talking about this fact checking and verifying po.
Okay, siguro for my final words, no, gusto ko lang din ulit bigyan ng emphasis yung the need for us to fact check. Okay, as I said kanina, we are exposed to so many kinds of information that are being conveyed to us, being delivered to us through different media channels. So all the more that we need to do fact checking. So fact checking can be done. Hindi natin kailangan ng um, extraordinary na skills or knowledge to do fact checking. Fact checking can be done by simply doing a Google search, trying to find other sources, legitimate sources. Pwede nating tingnan kung yun bang nakita nating information is also present in the other legitimate sources, because kung merong consistency ng presence ng information na yon, then that's a good sign na the information is factual and it is verified. Pero kung yung information na yon ay nag-iisa lang at doon lang sa isang particular na website or page mo nakita, then siguro dapat medyo maghinay-hinay muna tayo doon sa pag-share, no? And another thing siguro that I would like to leave is let us not be instrument. Let us not instrument of misinformation and disinformation. Dahil minsan because of our lack of awareness, unknowingly and unintentionally, nagiging bahagi tayo ng problema. So, para hindi tayo maging bahagi ng problema, kailangan nating maging kritikal, kailangan nating maging mapanuri, at kailangan nating maging responsable sa lahat ng ating mga sinishare, sa lahat ng ating mga pinupost, at sa lahat ng ating mga ina-upload sa kanya-kanya nating mga social media accounts or social media pages. I know, the issue of fake news, kung tawagin natin, misinformation, malinformation, disinformation, is not just a simple issue. In fact, it is a global issue, and for us to resolve this issue, we need to help one another. We need to establish cooperation. Ganitong klase ng initiative, itong ginagawa ninyo sa DepEd ay isang magandang paraan upang, ma-minimize kung hindi man natin totally ma-eradicate itong problem natin sa fake news. So, yun lang.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Sir Gonzalez, for those words. Yan, truly, kinakailangan naman talaga, sir, na tulungan. Tulungan ang paglaban against this malinformation and disinformation, because this has to be a collective work. So, hindi talaga, sir, kakayanin ng isang tao. No? Kaya, tunay nga, salamat talaga sa DepEd DASMA, yes, for organizing this kind of platform for everyone. Ayan po. So sir, pwede po ba tayo mag-welcome ng mga questions po mula sa ating
Sure.
mga viewers if they have?
Sure.
Okay lang po ba yan? Sige po. Tingnan po natin, sir. Baka po merong mga nagtanong. And so, doon po sa mga viewers natin, ayan, wag po kayong mahiya dahil very welcome po ang ating mga katanungan para kay Sir Gonzales. Ayan po. So dito po, I think shout out po ito. Disinformation war is waging, sabi po ni Ma'am Arlene Alberto. Ayan po. So baka po may mga katanungan kayo. Ayan, ready po ang ating guest speaker na si Sir Gonzales para sagutin po ang ating mga katanungan. Ayan. Sige po, sir. So maybe tinatay pa po nila. So habang tinatay po nila yan, ayan, ating pong basahin yung mga comments na inilagay po nila sa ating FB page.
Hello, Ma'am Kat. Ayan, you can read directly to our screen, no? The comments are already presenting there. Sige.
Sige po, ayan. Kanina sir, meron ako nakita yung smart. Ano po ba iyon? Ayan. So, this is from Sir Ernani LL Maed. I think this is like a form of shout out po. Ayan, sige. Let us join the band. Battle against alternate and disinformation. Let us spread light, truth, and good news. So let us be a smart, social media accountable, and responsible teacher. Wow. Thank you so much po, Sir Ernani, for that. And so may mga katanungan po kaya. Ayan, sabi din po dito po ni Sir J.O. Arshaga. Ayan, isang magpagpaligtas at makalikas ang umaga po sa ating lahat. Together, let us join the band. Ayan. So talaga naman pong gamit na ang ating tagline. That together, let us join the band. Ayan. So, hello po, Ma'am Fran. Siya, mapagpalang umaga po sa inyo. So, I think, meron na po ba? May mga katanungan po ba na available? Ayan. I think ready pa si Sir eh. Naando may spirit ni Sir to answer our questions. Ayan. Sige po. So, kung wala na po sa ating comment section, Sir Maki, meron po ba kayong huling tanong na nais po or last message po para kay Sir Gonzales?
Sa atin naman, ma'am, no, napakalinaw po ng explanation ni Sir. And I think kung meron akong tanong kay Sir, ito ay hindi tanong pero invitation sa paraan ng pagtatanong. Sir, we have 44 public schools, and if ever these 44 public schools would plan to set seminars, trainings on their schools on media literacy. Sir, okay lang po ba kayong makumbidahan? At kung okay lang, sino po ang pwede naming tawagan?
Ay, opo naman, Sir Maki. It will be my honor to share yung ating knowledge. The more na mas maraming makakapakinig, the more na mas marami tayong matutulungan in our battle against altered news and disinformation. So I am very much willing to accept invitations from the other schools.
Wow, thank you, Sir Reg. Sir, hindi ako magpapapigil. Last na lang. Alam mo, Sir, our Join the Band is issued through a memorandum. It was very clear in our memorandum that this will not touch any political entity because it's nearing election. But as we know, sir, teachers during election do not just serve as electoral boards, do not just serve as part of the COMELEC, but we should also serve in our own ways of educating our people. Sir, one thing that stops us from, from being so vocal on social media is yung electioneering, kasi kami bawal kaming mag-campaign openly for a person. But ito to all our teachers right there, like me, I for one, if you could check my social media account, if you could check my social media account, you would see my color, you would see my political leaning. Hindi yun bawal sa electioneering. Ang bawal is please vote for this candidate. Please vote for ganyan. But you expressing yourself that I am for this person because he is like this, because she is like this. That's not bawal. That is part of our freedom of speech. Sir, ito yung tanong ko. Dami kong intro. Sir Reg, syempre, moral obligation pa rin ng mga teachers na magpahayag at magturo ng tama. Ayaw man naming i-touch ang usaping eleksyon sa Join the Ban, pero moral na tungkulin namin ito. Sir, ano kaya yung magiging tip ninyo sa mga teachers who would wish to share their insights on fake news, syempre involving political personalities na in a way ay magiging safe sila?
Okay, medyo tricky yung question, Sir Maki, no? Una, hindi ako familiar dito sa, I know there is this guidelines na sinusunod kayo with regards to participating sa mga election-related activities. Pero again, I also agree with you, Sir Maki, that as teachers, we have moral obligations to our students to teach them these things, no? Especially related sa uh, misinformation and disinformation. Siguro, kung meron akong advice na maibibigay sa inyo is, um, let's say, kung meron tayong ibinigay na example, or whenever we cite example sa ating mga estudyante, like, this is an example of a fake news, and you see that somehow it's related to politics or a political personality. Ang rule of thumb ko dyan, pag nagbigay ka ng example, dapat laging may supporting details eh. Dapat laging may supporting information. You cannot just make a claim for something na hindi verified, hindi factual, at hindi truthful. So, to me, that's very important. No? Sa kahit na anong example, political man yan or non-political, na ibibigay natin sa ating mga estudyante, dapat tayo mismo mga teachers, pina-practice natin yung pagbibigay natin ng supporting information dun sa mga examples na binibigay natin. Otherwise, medyo sa iba, they might see it as confusing, no? We just give an example and we didn't explain. Ano ba yan? Bakit ba yan naging fake news? Paano natin nasabi na fake news yan? Okay?
Thank you so much, sir. Ma'am Kat, I'm very excited that Sir Reg will be heard by our teachers in person trainings. Maraming salamat, Sir Reg. Ma'am Kat?
Ako nakakalimutan ko nga po, ako po ay moderator/host dito kapag nagsasalita po talaga si Sir Gonzales kasi talaga namang mapapa-all ears ka sa lahat ng mga impormasyon na binibigay, binabato po ni Sir. And thank you, Sir Maki, for asking also that question because as teachers, di ba parang takot na takot tayo na magbigay ng ating opinion about matters on politics, on election. Kasi nga, di ba, of course, we are binded or grounded on something po. So, thank you po because somehow, Sir Gonzales, binigyan niyo po ng idea on how to do that. Ayan, nang hindi naman kami nagkakos ng misleading or we are violating certain things. Ayan po. So, thank you so much, Sir Reg. Muli, maraming salamat po, Sir Gonzales, sa pagpapaunlak ninyo sa aming imbitasyon na makasama kayo sa second episode na fact-checking and verifying dito sa Today with DepEd DASMA. And we hope, we pray, Sir, na makasama pa namin kayo. Di lang sa mga susunod na episode but in the seminars and trainings that we will be engaged in the future. Ayan. Thank you so much po, Sir Gonzales. Yes, Sir Maki. Sir, makabila niyo. Ayan. Sige po. So, I think we are done with our today's episode. So, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng tumutok, lahat na nakinig mula sa umpisa hanggang sa huli sa pag-i-air po natin ng ating episode on fact-checking and verifying. And we pray na marami po tayo natutunan, marami tayong nakuhang information on how we produce and consume information. And so it's all about the collective effort of everybody to spread awareness para po together we could fight okay, this battle against altered news and disinformation. So again, this is Miss Catherine Noma, your information coordinator from Congressional Integrated High School. Maraming salamat po sa pagsama sa amin. God bless everyone. See you on our next episode.